Okay, here's the question. Who are you going to call when you have a problem with your hi-fi system? You turned on your amp, big spark came out of it, puff of smoke. Who are you going to call? Your CD player is not spinning anymore. Your preamplifier, you hit the on button and it's dark. Nothing's happening. Who are you going to call? Well, let's see. Well, first of all, this scenario, this question of warranty and customer service issues, this episode was instigated by the one I did a few days ago about the Chinese 300B amplifier. Beautifully made, great sound, but it is made in China. Service is not a sure thing here in the USA or in Europe. So what are you going to do? Well, you're kind of on your own, you know. Now, later on in this video, I'm going to talk about a bunch of companies, famous companies, high-end companies, audiophile companies that I call to check out their responsiveness in terms of service issues or just customer service, like how do I do this thing? How do I make it work? And I'll get to that soon enough. But right now, it's about customer service and what you should be thinking about, well, before you buy something, before you make an expensive purchase. You should do your homework. If you're going to buy an Audio Research preamplifier, call Audio Research. Or if you're not in the USA, text them or email them. See how they respond. I'm guessing they'd actually respond pretty quickly. Before you make an expensive purchase. Now, if you're buying it from a brick and mortar dealer that's nearby or close enough by, just say, do you guys have technicians here that can repair products? If I had a heavy amplifier, do you pay for shipping? Do you pick it up at my house? Will you pay for shipping to the company and return ship? These are the kind of questions. How long will it take? If it's out of warranty, how does that work? This is if you have a local dealer. Now, of course, most of you, unfortunately, probably are not buying from a local dealer. So the same sorts of questions. You get in contact with the company, phone, email, text, see how they respond. Ask lots of questions. Do you do out-of-warranty repairs? What do they typically cost? How long does it usually take? Etc., etc. Just try to anticipate what might go wrong and present those issues to the company. Or service center, if they have a local service center, contact the service center for that company. In other words, think. Tube amplifiers definitely are a little more, have more reliability issues than solid state amplifiers, but solid state amplifiers can definitely also have their problems, right? And they tend to be heavy. Again, who pays for the shipping in one direction or both directions? These are very important questions with heavy stuff. If it's a CD player, do they stock parts for models that are, let's say, 10 years old? That sort of thing. Ask questions. And you will be, it'll make for a more secure purchase knowing that you're covered. And it's not just when stuff breaks, it's when you have questions. I don't know how to do this. Is there someone there to help you? So I called a bunch of companies. First on my list was Macintosh. They're based in Binghamton, New York, where they actually build stuff. It's a real factory. I've been there. It's not they don't assemble parts. They come from other places. They really, really make stuff there. Anyway, I called Macintosh first. A human being answered the phone. I said, I have a technical question. They immediately transferred my call to another human being, very friendly, very knowledgeable person there. And I felt like, yeah, they got their act together there in Binghamton. They know what they're doing. I called Luxman. Now, Luxman is a Japanese company, but they have a U.S. distributor. I called the U.S. distributor. A human being answered the phone. I said, I want to talk to someone about a technical issue. They immediately transferred me. Another human being responded. I called Tecton, speaker company. Yeah, a human being answered. I said, what if I blow a tweeter or woof or something? We'll take care of it right away. You call Zoo in Utah, the speaker company. Yeah, same thing. A human being will answer the phone. A very happy, very friendly human being will answer the phone. It's a pleasure. Now, I called some large Japanese companies that tend to build their stuff in China, but they have U.S. offices. I called Sony. I called Denon. Both of them said, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, we're not basically doing customer service right now, so good luck, pal. So I called Pioneer, and Pioneer had a recording, and it said press 1 for the 2 for this and stuff. Finally, I got to audio. I pressed the number for audio. It was a different telephone number. I wrote down that telephone number. I called that number. It was a non-working number. I went back to the Pioneer original number to make sure I wrote it down correctly, went through the whole thing all over again, and no, it was the right number and it didn't work. So Pioneer has a non-working number for people who are interested in dealing with their Pioneer AV receivers or consumer audio products. So Yamaha suggested texting, but I didn't text. I'm an old guy, so I used the phone. I called that number, and I was on hold for 15 minutes. A recording came up on a regular basis saying I was first in line, but I didn't get anywhere, and that was a 15-minute hold. NAD, another one, I was just on hold forever, and I gave up. Shit doesn't do the phone thing at all, but they said text us any issues, any questions, and we will respond quickly. I didn't do that, but they probably do. So obviously, I couldn't call every company. The point is, that's your job. If you're going to buy a product and you're going to spend many hundreds or thousands of dollars, do your homework, call before you buy, whether it's the dealer itself that you're going to buy it from, and that one you could just say, hey, Joe, what are you going to do? Who am I going to call? Who's going to take care of me when I have a problem? And hopefully they'll have a good answer for you. So if you're buying from a brick and mortar dealer, well, you just go there and ask them or look around and say, do you have technicians? Maybe they're working in the basement, or maybe they work in another building, but do they have technicians on hand to handle any issues? And the non-repair issues, do you have people there to help me, talk me through, like I can't get this thing to turn on issues, that kind of stuff, right? But that's a brick and mortar situation, and I'm sorry to say most of you out there probably aren't buying from brick and mortar. If you are, I'm happy that you're doing it. Congratulations. So hopefully you're treated well by the brick and mortar dealer. But for everybody else, well, check out the company before you make a major purchase. That's the message for today. Okay, so I'm gonna ask you guys, can you help me out? Can you help each other out and tell us your stories of service issues and customer service issues for good or not so good with various companies? Please tell us all about it in the comments section. I would very, very much appreciate that. Because everybody's got their own experiences, right? There'll be stories of praise and stories of outright horror. They'll all be there in the comment section. Anyway, my name's Steve Guttenberg. You may have noticed I'm wearing an Audiophiliac Daily Show t-shirt. They're finally here. They're finally real. And if you'd like to wear one and kind of have that Audiophiliac vibe, that magic, that superpower status that only comes from wearing this t-shirt, they're yours to be had. You could also check out the Patreon at patreon.com/audiophiliac. You can link, there's a link to that below, and there's also a link below to where to get the t-shirts. But while you're here, hey, check out the playlist for speaker reviews and headphone reviews and electronics reviews and music reviews and lots and lots and lots of interviews with famous people and not so famous people, but they're all good. And I think I can now say my work here is at last complete. So thank you for coming, and I hope to see you back here again very, very soon. Bye-bye.